It is usually noticed, or it is usually observed that a lot of people grow pretty fast in the initial years of their career, let's say the first 3 or 4 years. And the moment they are like, they have a work experience of 5 years, 5+ years, the growth slows down significantly. All right, and it's very common. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you would have noticed this. The career growth is pretty fast in the initial years. However, after 5 years of your professional experience, the career growth starts to slow down, and for a few, it completely becomes very stagnant. And this is, a kind of a plateau that a lot of people hit in their career. And I have been hearing a lot of these questions while I talk to a lot of my team members, and uh, a lot of other people who I know. They come to me and they basically discuss about it, and this very common thing which we anyhow notice. You don't need someone to come and tell you about this. You take example in any org, and you will basically see the people 5+ years experience, people who have more than 5 years of experience, their growth is a little slow or very slow, at times. So I'm basically going to try and talk about that, and help those who are basically in this kind of a situation, for them, help them understand what can be the reason for it, how can they overcome it, what are the action items for them, what they should try and do, what habits they can possibly try and adopt, so that they can start to come out of this particular situation, break the plateau. So that is basically going to be the point of discussion, the topic of discussion. So first of all, let's try and understand what is the reason for this. So when we are basically talking about the stagnant career growth, what can be the reason for it? What is basically causing it? Okay, so typical career growth flow works something like this. So first 2 years, there is a lot of excitement in your job. So you have those who have joined the company, new, or not just a company, basically those who have just started working. The first initial 1 or 2 years are full of excitement. There's a lot of learning, and which kind of results in high growth, faster growth, because you are excited about the stuff that you're doing, you're learning something new, you are excited about learning, you have a lot of enthusiasm, you have just started. It's very similar to when there is a cricket match, the the initial power play, right? So that kind of a situation is there's a lot of momentum, excitement, which leads to high growth. Year 3 to 4, this excitement starts coming down a little. So here it should be basically in the year 3 to 4, the excitement factor starts coming down, learning starts coming down, and the growth also starts to come down, right? But it becomes slow. It does not become a complete, it does not become complete stagnant. The reason is that whatever you have learned in, say, first 1 or 2 years, you can still realize some of the benefits of those in the third and fourth year, because the moment you have joined the company, immediately you will not see the benefits. So the benefits of the first 2 years learning and momentum that was built in the first 2 years, those results are visible in the third and fourth year. Okay, so year 3 to 4 is basically about that. However, what happens is, once you have been working for 5+ years, then the situation slightly changes. Your work starts becoming very predictable. Most of us try to stay in the same I would say path in our career. Let's say we are working on a particular technology, we continue to stay in that technology. Now we know enough of that technology to be able to continue with our day-to-day work, and we are enough in a quite comfortable zone or a comfortable space where we do not want to explore, go beyond a certain point on that technology, or explore some new technology, because my work is being done. So I'm able to deliver whatever work is coming to me. I have basically put a setup around me to be able to finish my work on time with whatever is expected, and I know enough about how to finish my work, and I am not, or I am least interested in basically going beyond what my current role requires me to do. All right, so this is the kind of situation that we usually fall in once we have got 5+ years experience. It can be 6, 7, 8 years also. So it's not as, when I say 5+, for some it can come at 5+ years, for some it can come at 8 years, for some it may come at 12 years also. But this is the situation which we hit at that point of time. The work becomes predictable and repeated work. Growth slows down, and we really don't have any direction. So another thing is, if we have been doing the same stuff for quite some time, let's say we have been following a path. If I am just following a path constantly for 7, 8 years, one, I have got into a comfort zone that, okay, I know this path, I will follow this path. Second, I do not want to take a risk of checking another path. Forget about whether this path will give me more success or not, but I do not even try to explore that. Okay, so which kind of leads to no direction. So I just know I am on the path, but I seriously do not know whether there is another alternate option or no, and it's too risky for me possibly to start looking or exploring, etc. So this is a typical career growth flow that most of us go through. All right, now if you are also in one of the similar situations, or in case you're not sure if you are in this kind of a situation or not, if you have already hit that career slowdown, there are a few symptoms which I've listed, which will possibly help you understand if you are in that kind of a situation. So first symptom is your work starts feeling repetitive. So you are doing repetitive work, whatever you were doing say 1 year ago, whatever you were doing 2 years ago, you are doing the same repetitive work again and again and again, and you are not doing any new work. So that's one. Your promotions don't come easily anymore. You are basically struggling to get your promotions. That is another symptom, which is kind of an indicator that you are in that particular zone. Your learning curve is very flat. If you have not learned anything new in say last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, your work is being done. So your work is not getting impacted, but your learning is not there. You have not learned any new skill, be it a soft skill, be it a technical skill, or whatever. That also is an indication that your learning curve is pretty flat. So look at your learning curve possibly for last 6 months, 1 year, and then see, are you falling into that zone? You do not have a clear next level. So you do not have a clarity on next level. Next level always does not mean the promotion. So the problem with a lot of people is that the moment they're talking about next level, they're basically talking about the next hierarchy level in their company. No, that is not the next level. So you'll have to think about next level as something which can give you growth in this company, another company, or something like that. Growth again does not mean that, okay, fine, you start getting into the, a developer gets into a TL gets into a manager. No, it's not just about that. Growth for some can be, a deep dive into a particular technology, learning a new technology, which will add a lot of value to your portfolio. So it does not necessarily mean next level. Some of us will directly connect it with the next level promotion. That's always not the next level. So no clear next level. Confidence is lower than skill. So your confidence is pretty low. Even on things where you are skilled, you are not very confident to basically go and explore those things. That also is a symptom indicating that you are possibly in that particular zone, and your work doesn't feel exciting. This is again another important thing. So are you excited about the work that you are doing? So whatever it may be, you can be a programmer, you can be a developer, you can be a business analyst, you can be a functional consultant, or you can be a project manager or a program manager. But whatever work you are doing, is there enough excitement for you to look forward to your work on a regular basis. So that excitement is something which is important. So if you feel that these are the symptoms that you are also kind of experiencing, then possibly you are in that zone and you really need to act upon that to break the plateau. Okay, now let's get into the root cause of it. So what is the root cause of this kind of a situation? So I'll talk about the root causes one by one. Let's quickly have a look at what can be the primary reasons. So one reason is, of course, the learning has stopped. You are too much into your comfort zone. You are not working enough on your personal branding, so people do not possibly know you that ways. You do not have a proper career strategy, and networking is not growing. So these can be some of the root causes for it. Let us talk a little more in details about each one of these and try and understand how do you overcome each of these. Yeah. So the reason one is the learning has stopped. Okay. So usually if you are getting the same kind of work, you do not have a requirement to learn something new every now and then, and in that kind of a mode you usually tend to stop learning anything new. You feel whatever I am required to do, I am already able to do that. I have got skills and I am basically able to manage, and not required for me to basically go and learn something new. So this is one of the core reasons for people basically who are getting into that zone of career mid-level career crisis, or the stagnation that comes into career. So learning has got stopped. Early years you were basically learning continuously, but after a point the same skills are repeated. You are able to manage your work with the same skills that you learned in initial years of your career, and which possibly then takes you to a point where you stop learning completely. Okay, so now what happens? Anyone who is, and especially now, anyone who has been following the the technology, the way things are moving, would have realized that things are evolving a lot faster than ever before. So things are evolving, the market evolves, new technologies come, new ways of doing the same thing come, but if you are not learning continuously, you do not evolve. So yeah, market evolves, but we do not evolve, and that is the challenge here. Okay, what is the solution? The solution for that is you have to learn intentionally. I have used the word intentionally here. So intentionally means you don't have to learn based on what your project requires. You should make it a habit of learning something new. It can be a soft skill, it can be a technical skill, but try and learn something new. So even if you do not see an immediate value add to your current role, but if you see that, okay fine, this is a skill which can help me in future, the next levels, then of course try to learn those things. So that's the solution to this. This is very important, which we should adopt. The reason too is comfort zone starts dominating. So after a certain period of time, once we start becoming comfortable with the role that we are playing, the technology that we are working on, the comfort zone starts dominating. We are in a very comfortable zone, and when we are in a comfortable zone, we really don't care about doing anything extra. So I am good at this, why try something new? So we start feeling that, okay fine, whatever I'm doing, I'm really good in it. Do I really need to start something, do something new? So this is a big challenge, and this is a big trap, rather, I would say. So if you are able to do your work without learning any new things, of course it can be a short-term success, but over a longer period of time, it is going to become a little bit of a challenge for you. So your comfort becomes predictability, becomes stagnation. So that is the challenge here. Solution for this would be take up challenging work. Don't try to just be take up the work which is of your within your comfort level. Always try to take up something challenging. If the project requires something else to be done, usually we have a habit that, okay fine, I'm good in this, let me focus on this. Try to take up challenging work, and you can try to take at least 10% of the work every month. So if you are, let's say, working for 160 hours in a month, try to take up say 15 to 16 hours of challenging work. Rest 140 hours can still be your normal work, whatever you were doing. So every month try to take up at least, if not more, 10% challenging work. So start making that as a habit. So that will also help you learn new things and come out of your comfort zone a little more. Third can be no personal branding. So usually we have, and especially with a lot of people who are able to complete their work as expected because of their skills, etc. There is one thought process which is like, if I am able to complete my work, I will automatically get noticed. Everyone will know that, okay, fine, I have completed my work. So yeah, you are able to complete your work, that's fine, but that does not guarantee that you getting noticed. So for you to grow, it is very important that you are also being noticed. People know that you are doing this. You are because a lot of times you complete the work, and while you do the actual execution of the work, but someone else gets the credit for the overall planning of it and how the work was done, etc. So you assume that your hard work will automatically get noticed. That unfortunately doesn't work that ways. So ideally that should be the case. I understand if you're putting in hard work, it should be recognized, it should be noticed, but you need to do a little bit of personal branding as well. So and especially when you are, say, more than 5, 6, 7 years experience, that is where visibility is very important. For junior roles, 1, 2, 3, 4 years experience, visibility is not that important. But for those mid-level managers and mid-level architect kind of roles, or the senior developers, that sort of roles, it is very important to have proper visibility as well. So that personal branding is also to some extent very important, but a lot of times we do not understand the importance of it. What should be the solution to this? Speak up in meetings. So whenever there are big meetings, I have usually noticed a lot of people are very shy of speaking during the meetings. They would share their thoughts one-on-one with their team leads or managers, but they would ask them to basically share the thought during the bigger meetings or the larger meetings. Instead of that, you yourself should start speaking up in the meetings, ask questions, give your suggestions directly on the meeting. Do not be too afraid of being judged, etc. So that's not required. It's a meeting is always a professional discussion, and whatever you are suggesting is about is about that particular project or the work that you guys are actually doing. So there is no reason for anyone to feel that feel embarrassed of, even if there is a suggestion which is not good, it's fine. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, there cannot be bad suggestions. At least that's what I have noticed. There can be suggestions which cannot be practically feasible, etc. So that's fine. But try speaking in meetings. If possible, I have also realized a lot of times people prefer staying off camera during the meetings. So if you stay off camera during the meetings, of course people just know you possibly by your voice, which again I do not know how much they can recognize you by your voice. But if they see you on the camera, it becomes a lot more, they start connecting a lot more. So speak up in meetings, build LinkedIn presence. So try and connect with more and more people, not just within your company, but also try to build your brand. So build your LinkedIn presence. Share small learnings and insights publicly. So even if you're learning a small thing, try and share it publicly. Try to do a little bit of your self promotion based on those small learnings also, internally within your company and externally as well. So this is going to be very helpful. The next reason which we are going to discuss is primarily about not having a very clear career strategy. So not having a career strategy means sometimes we just keep on doing what we are doing and we do not exactly have a slightly longer career strategy. That also starts becoming a little bit of a challenge for a lot of them. So let's say first 8 to 10 years of your career can be on autopilot mode because you were the kind of role that you kept on getting, you kept on doing that kind of a role. So very natural for people to do that for 6, 7 years, 8 years, that's fine. But eventually there has to be a slightly longer term career goal or career strategy, that what sort of role I need to play, what sort of skills I need to develop to get into that sort of roles. Okay, so initial years everyone is very much similar, developer, that is how it is. But when you start getting into the leadership roles, there you really, to get into those roles, you really need direction. And just performing, just being able to write a fantastic code, just being able to develop or build a excellent functional design documentation will not help you achieve those. Okay, so what is the solution? The solution is here would be to try and understand, first of all, try and understand your career direction. Try to pick a career path. Do you want to stay in tech and become an architect and basically go into that direction? Do you want to basically grow more into the project management kind of a role, management kind of a role? You like working as project manager, product manager, program manager, that sort of role. So that try and decide that. Or you basically want to get into roles like more of functional experts, business analysts, that kind of a role. So try and understand what is your area of interest and what is your area of expertise, and based on that decide on this particular thing. And then this will certainly help you come up with a cleaner career strategy, and you can then work on that to streamline your career goals and your learning plans, action plans accordingly. The next one is limited networking. So this is again very important. Networking has always been a very important thing, and it is one of the most underrated thing, by the way. So people do not understand. So skills are important, but at the same time having a good network is also important. So we grow with opportunities. Opportunities come from people. So this is very, very important. So you simply do not grow just because you're good in what you're doing. Others also need to know that you're good in what you're doing. Or even before they know that you're good in what you're doing, they at least need to know that you are doing this thing. So if I need a developer, before I know that he's a good developer, bad developer, at least I should know that there is a developer in my circle or something like that, so that whenever I have an opportunity, I can reach out to that person. So at least that thing should be there. So try and work a lot on networking. So there is this 1-1-1 formula that can be adopted. So you can try and make one new professional connection every week. So have a target of making one new professional connection within your organization, outside your organization, up to you. But yeah, try to build a connection every week. Help one person every month. Try and see if you are able to help one person every month in some way, in of course in the professional careers. If you are able to help them solve a small problem, or give them some sort of career guidance or whatever it is, and attend one industry event every quarter. Try to see if you are able to attend, if not every quarter, at least one, 2 events in a year. And then once you attend these events, and these can be, some of these can be also, if not physical, at least see if there are some online events happening, and see if there is, most of these industry events will have scope for networking. So try and see if you can talk to more people, talk about your specific domain, how things are being done, etc. So this is going to be very important. Yeah. So these are the 5 main reasons. So we spoke about what are the key challenges and what are the solutions. Now, how do you restart? So what should be your action plan right after this? So what can be done now? So as part of this action plan, try to learn continuously and intentionally. As I said, you should always have a scope of you should always have a plan to learn something new. Okay, can be technical skill, can be again soft skill. Build visibility. Try to be more visible within your organization, outside the organization. Whenever there is a meeting, try to share your thoughts. Try to give ideas. If there's a process being followed, do not think that okay fine, this is a process which is being followed for so many years. The company will continue to follow this process. If you feel that there is a better way that you can suggest, do work on that. Try to take up a bit challenging roles. Do not stick to the regular roles or the repetitive work. Network intentionally. Again, networking is something also where you may need to work a little. Try and connect with people intentionally, and try to build a solid career strategy. Decide what you want to do, where would you want to be, say 5 years down the line, etc. And then try to build a strategy around that if I have to reach here, what would I need, what skills will I need to reach there. If you want to basically go into the program management, project management kind of a role, what sort of certifications, what sort of courses will help me achieve that. So that way you start planning your things. And if you look at all these things, these are all interrelated. Yeah, so if you have a career strategy, that will basically motivate you to learn continuously on things. Once the moment you start learning things, you will be able to suggest better ways of following processes, which will help you build visibility. And you can also start promoting your personal learnings, and that will also help you build visibility. So that ways, and if you have learned new skills, you can also apply those to take up some additional roles that you feel you can fit in, or you can basically help your team in, right? So that is it. I think these should be good enough for you to get started and break the career plateau, which a lot of us hit once we are slightly experienced, maybe 5-7 years experience. Yeah, so hope you all work on this, and are able to work on your in case you feel that your career is stagnant, you are able to work on this. And do let me know if there are any additional topics that you want me to talk about, or if you have any additional thoughts other than whatever I have shared. If there are more thoughts that you have around this, please do let me know. It will be helpful for me to understand things, get more, it's always good to have detailed perspective, so it will be helpful for me to understand things in a better way. And of course, the ones people who follow me, they will also get to learn from your perspective. So do feel free to share your perspectives as well. Thank you.